Ebusuafo ne etie fo ni die kwan so me pa acho me ma obi bia akwaba bachani so hanum e daily update TV.
Doc, talk to us. What you said is what's happened. The expectation is that there will be a rerun of some sort. Are you satisfied with the process thus far, and how is the party preparing for that rerun in that polling station?
Well, let me make it very clear. We have not reached any final conclusion on this yet, because they themselves, they have problem with their additions. The additions they came out with, it's not a true reflection of what happened. You remember when they did the declaration on the D-Day, interestingly enough, they had soft copies of the results of the 3 polling stations, and they declared Madam Akurugu by 51,000 plus, and Makukwe had 50,000. So there was a difference of 1,154. Very huge difference. So today, if you are having problem with one polling station, that one polling station should be taken out. And that one polling station total votes are 689. So when you take out 689 from 1,157, your guess is as good as this is a simple arithmetic. You see the problem I have with this commission. They always have a problem with arithmetic. That's their problem. So they said they were relying on a laptop to do calculation. Do we do electronic calculation in Ghana? Our results are manual. We go by the pink sheets and we go by the collation form. The collation form is what is known as the Form 1C. Then the summary sheet is the Form 1D. So we have taken the Form 1C. We'll do the calculation for them and bring it back. These people are
so what, your votes have been reduced?
Completely. We completely disagree with it, because on the face of it, they themselves know that when you declared her, she was leading with about 1,154. So if you are expanding one, and the one total votes is 689, this one is a primary school mathematics. It's not algebra. It's not logarithm.
You feel that the 165 is a decrease in your calculation?
Of course, they have problem with arithmetic. We are going to do the calculation and bring it back. We told them they should hold their horses. We are doing the calculation ourselves. Our opponents also pick one. They should also go and enter. We'll go and enter. Simple Excel sheet, and we'll get it.
That doesn't mean that the NDC is not going to campaign.
There's no rerun. She has won.
The EC just told us. That there's going to be a rerun.
I am saying that they have a problem with their arithmetic. It's their own document. You remember when we did registration, they were doing wrong calculations. Coral draw people. I'm not surprised they've used Coral draw. No, I'm saying we have won the election.
So that means you're not going to campaign back at Abokobi station?
Campaign, you are talking. I said we have won the election. You are talking. The document will show. Let's come back. We are coming back with it. We'll go and sit down, do the arithmetic for them.
Dr. Tanko, you told us that you have to go and do the recalculation from the C1 form you got from the EC.
Yes.
And then that will inform your decision. You haven't done the calculation yet. But you said
I am saying that per the calculation they did on the D-Day and what they've written on their own summary sheet is 51,000 for Madam Akurugu. The gentleman got 50,000. It's there. It's on the distance. So and we are saying remove one polling station from it, and it's a problem to them.
And then it arrives at the figure the EC announced today. What will you tell the public?
I am saying that we are going to look at it.
So there you have it. That's Dr. Asitanko computer there. So the Electoral Commission, the communication from Dr. Siribo Kweko earlier is that they have decided to rerun the elections in the Abokobi Women's Development Center 2. That's a polling station in the Dom Kwabena constituency that has some 669 registered voters there. And he says that if there has to be a rerun, which they've decided, it will be before the inauguration of the 9th Parliament, which is on the dawn of January 7. But then again, they've decided to do this because if you look at the difference between that's Aaron Maikokwe and Faustina Akurugu, there's just about 165. And so the 669 registered voters in this Abokobi Women's Development Center 2 would make a difference if it is added either ways. And so we have the Dom Kwabena constituency. This is actually the biggest constituency that went into this election with some 370 polling stations. That's 370 polling stations, 182,644 registered voters. So that's the decision now.
Yes, let me...
You oppose it?
Yes, I don't know why, first of all, my party is participating in this. Because results have been declared.
Yes.
And let me quote Justice Ansah, Julius Ansah. He recently retired from the Supreme Court. In ex parte Dr. Sari. He said this: the decision in ex parte Alhaji Collins Dauda Supra is the effect that in a parliamentary election, where the electoral processes have been substantively carried out up to the point where a candidate has been declared elected, that is up to the process in Regulation 41, Sub-Regulation 1C of CI 15, which was enforced then, the election is complete, and an election petition can be brought to challenge the validity of the election. Do you know what this means?
Tell me.
They have varied the terms of PNDC Law 284, 1992, which says that you must wait for Gazette notification before you proceed to court. This Supreme Court pronouncement is saying that once results are declared and you are aggrieved, just file your petition. Don't wait for Gazette notification. Now, it's implied from expert Alhaji Collins Dauda Supra that the subsequent processes, namely the endorsement of the rate and its transmission to the Electoral Commission, as well as the public.
Again, with respect to the numbers both candidates had polled, Michael Kwe Jr., 50,567, Elikplim Akurugu, 50,732. The difference between the two candidates is 165 votes. Now, that one missing polling station, which both the NPP, the NDC, the Electoral Commission do not have details of, has 669 registered voters. Meaning, if that number is added to Michael Kwe Jr., he wins, Dom Kwabenya. And so a decision cannot be taken. He says they are going back to report to the commissioners for a decision to be taken. I reckon it will be the subject of another IPAC meeting. But if we can glean anything from what Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer told us, is that they were going to seek to rerun that polling station, which is in the Abokobi area, a polling station around that part of the country. And so finally headway appears to be being made with respect to Dome Kwabenya at this particular point in time. But really, what next is the big question, because I must mention as well that there's presidential coalition expected for Ahafo North as well. And that's why you see LPG agent and a host of other agents. You see Peter McMahon, amongst other individuals, all present here and accounted for, waiting to go through the process. But now they are filling the Form 1C, which is the collation sheet for the NPP, because they did not have a copy, because they were not present when the declaration was made for Elikplim Akurugu somewhere December 9th, earlier on this month. And so that is the level of progress that's been made up until this point. It still appears that there is no winner at this particular point in time. You cannot say Elikplim Akurugu has won. You cannot say Michael Kwe has won. There's a difference of 165 votes between Elikplim Akurugu, who's leading, and then Michael Kwe Jr. This is a seat that the NPP has won comfortably for quite a while. Sarah Adjwasafo, the incumbent member of parliament for that particular constituency, was not retained by delegates for reasons which included she going AWOL for close to 2 years when there was duty to be carried out in parliament. She was gender minister and had left the shores of the country. The constituents argued that it was one thing they could not forgive her for. And so when she went into battle again with Michael Kwe Jr., whose father had been member of parliament for Dom Kwabenya on the ticket of the NPP again, the delegates in the Dom Kwabenya constituency said they will hand it over to Michael Kwe Jr. to lead the charge of the NPP. But Elikplim Akurugu had been forcing her way through. She clawed in some votes, considerable level of votes really in 2020, which many analysts say should have served as warning signals to the NPP that some level of work was being done in that constituency by the NDC, and the lack of the presence of Sarah Adwoasafo in the constituency with respect to what should happen going forward, many say as well contributed to what we're seeing now, this difficulty by Michael Okoye Jr. to be able to retain that seat, which has been theirs traditionally and comfortably. It looks like progress has been made. Everything is being rounded up now because we see that the agents of the NPP are up on their feet. They've got their Form 1C as well, which is the coalition sheet. And it looks like there's still no clear winner just as yet at this particular point in time. We'll try and get a few words from a number of the individuals present and accounted for. Michael Okoye Jr. will be, of course, of great interest to us, even as he continues to tabulate and scribble on a jotter, along with words from Peter McMahon and Michael Okoye Jr. But some progress has been made here now finally with respect to what should be happening following the earlier misunderstanding as to the way forward. But the masked men who were engaged in some arguments, the one on the part of the NPP appears to be in a tete-a-tete of some sort with Dr. Serebour Kwaku. But it looks like progress has been made, but it is not progress which will lead to a declaration for any of the candidates. There's one outstanding polling station with over 600 voters, which can considerably affect the outcome of the poll, because in parliamentary contests, it's first past the poll. Somebody can win by just 2, 1, 6, you name it what. In 2020, in Sine West, there was 16 votes difference, which handed out the seats to the NDC. And so it's first past the poll. And so when you consider that 600 plus registered voters are in that final constituency and it can overturn the election results, then the Electoral Commission will be expected to rerun. That's the indication we get from Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer from that IPAC meeting. He says they were from this morning before they all moved here. And so that is what is expected. We are waiting to see what will happen. The husband of Elikplim is forcefully making some arguments as well with respect to the tallying of votes.
So that's what's happening at the Electoral Commission. What you're saying there, Dr. Serebour Kwaku and other EC officials at this Greater Accra Regional Office of the Electoral Commission. And we're talking about the Dom Kwabenya constituency. In this election, they are the biggest constituency in terms of registered voters. They had the highest number of registered voters if you do the Electoral Commission based on the data that they gave to us. And from what we understand now, in fact, yes, the results so declared with the 2 out of the 3 outstanding polling stations added. Michael Okoye Jr., 50,567, and Faustina Elikplim Akurugu, 50,732. There's a difference of 165 now. The outstanding polling station has 681 registered voters. Let's go to the EC now.
By the commission, that from WKomenya, the report from the returning officers was that they have concluded collating 367 polling station results. they were left with 3 of the results. And the 3 of the results were brought later. And the commission rejected one of it outright in the sense that it was declared on a wrong statement of poll because they used training sheet, which is not the one that they should use. So the commission has rejected one. So we are trying to come and add the 2 and see what happens. So when we added the 2 based on their statistics, the difference between the 2 candidates is now 165. Then the one that was rejected, the total number of voters was 669, meaning that if you give that number to the second person, he will overtake the first person. So it means that you have to go and rerun election at that polling station. So that's the decision. What's the name of the polling center, please? I don't have it offhand. I can't tell you.
How soon is the commission going to take a decision?
The name again.
Akokobi Women's Development Center 2.
So we are sending our report to the commission. Then the commission will take a decision when it should be done. But you are sure that it will be done before they are inaugurated? Yes. You are sure all these things are not working against your timelines? I'm saying that you are sure that that will be done before the inauguration.
Thank you. So that's Dr. Srebo Kweku, Director of Elections for the NPP, Evan Simako. Let's get a few words from him.
Yes, I think that we behaved in a mature manner as parties. We had an IPAC conversation. The EC informed us that there are 3 polling stations outstanding. We've looked at it. What tells us now is that there's the need to rerun in 1 polling station. We are going to go back and talk to our base. This is an election the New Patriotic Party has shown a lot of maturity. We've really taken on board all those unnecessary confrontations from our opponents, but it's in the good of Ghana. The message from the candidate, Dr. Baumia, was that before, during, and after the election, there must be peace in Ghana. And it is what the New Patriotic Party is exhibiting. What we've gone through. Strangely, we had not been given the Form 1C, which is the collation sheet. Our colleagues had them. Thank God today we've gotten copy. We are going to look at each one of them from one polling station to the other. Mind you, there are 370 polling stations. And so we are going to look at each one of them as they are represented on the collation sheet. And we'll come back. So this is a process that is still ongoing. It's also clear to everybody that what may have occurred at the constituency was not right. So we'll go through.
You said you guys had the Form 1C of them. Why is it that they had it and you couldn't get it?
I think that the EC should be in the position to answer. You need to find out from the returning officer why they were able to give copy to the NDC, but will not give us copy. In fact,
you were not present. You were not present there.
We were here because we were not given information as to the collation that was supposed to go on. So we were not there. But we met here for a continuous collation. The EC we work with, the returning officer, and the DEO didn't mention anything of Form 1C. But it's in the good of it. The New Patriotic Party is going to go back to the constituency. We'll work out with our people. We know that the good people of Domiko Abenya will give our candidate, Michael Aaron Jr., the vote that he would need to go to Parliament to represent them very well in the 9th Parliament.
Will you welcome the rerun of the elections at that particular polling station?
The decision from the commission is that there's going to be a rerun in that polling station, and that's what we are going to do.
Are we going to see active campaigning from the NDC?
Everybody who is supposed to be on the register, the New Patriotic Party is going to reach out to them.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's Evan Simako as well, seeking to suggest that they believe some level of irregularity. Let's speak to Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer as well.